Hello everyone, from today onwards we'll be starting very interesting basics of hematology. Now to start with the basics, I just thought that I should give a class about various morphological disorders of RBC and various aspects of the morphology in an RBC, right? So we'll start in a quick bit. See, the normal RBCs, can you appreciate two things? Okay, so we'll see they are anucleated. Can you appreciate any blue color nucleus? No, they are anucleated. And second, you can appreciate the central 1/3 pallor in the normal RBCs. Now, what is the cause of that normal central pallor? See, if you see the RBCs from the top view, that means you are using a microscope and you are visualizing the slide. That is the top view where you can appreciate the central 1/3 pallor. But if you look at the cross-sectional view, you will appreciate that the inner portion is less thick compared to the outer portion. This outer thicker portion and the inner thinner portion gives this characteristic central pallor in the normal RBCs, and also the normal MCV or the volume occupied is around 80 to 100 femtoliter. Femtoliter is the unit of MCV, you have to remember, right? So the normal MCV is 80 to 100 femtoliter. If this MCV is less than 80 femtoliter, the volume is less than the normal, you call it as microcytic RBCs. So you also have to compare the size of these RBCs with the lymphocyte. So you look for a lymphocyte and then you compare the size of the surrounding RBCs to that lymphocyte. Here you can see they are much smaller, and also you can appreciate the central pallor, which is much more than the normal 1/3. That means it is both microcytic, smaller in size, and hypochromic. The hypochromia or the loss of or the central pallor is much more. So you call it as microcytic hypochromic RBCs. Causes of microcytic RBC, very important to remember: iron deficiency anemia, because nutritional anemia is very common in a country like India. Along with that, you have to remember 4 important conditions. In order to memorize it, I have just made this mnemonic SITA, right? So sideroblastic anemia, iron deficiency anemia, thalassemia, and anemia of chronic disorders. Very important topic which we have to discuss in our subsequent classes is how to differentiate between this iron deficiency and thalassemia minor, because both you can see microcytic RBCs under the peripheral blood film, but there are other things which can help you to differentiate between iron deficiency and thalassemia minor, which we'll be studying in our subsequent classes, right? So very important to remember SITA, microcytic RBCs, MCV less than 80 femtoliter. Macrocytic RBCs, if you can compare, these are much larger than the normal RBCs, and their MCV is also more, right, greater than 100 femtoliter, and are called as macrocytic RBCs. Okay, so you have to memorize the causes of macrocytic RBCs, and it is important to differentiate between megaloblastic causes and non-megaloblastic causes of macrocytic RBCs. Two important causes of megaloblastic anemia are vitamin B12 deficiency and folic acid deficiency. And what are the causes of non-megaloblastic macrocytic RBCs? You have to remember a very good mnemonic: my liver bleeds a lot, right? So my MDS, liver disease, bleeds hemolytic anemia, a lot alcoholism, and lot you have to remember low thyroid or hypothyroidism. So my liver bleeds a lot. MDS, liver disease, hemolytic anemia, alcoholism, and low thyroid or hypothyroidism. Next, megaloblastic anemia, very two important features you have to remember which are seen under peripheral blood film are two. Macrocytic RBCs I already told you. Now these macrocytic RBCs can be both oval or they can be round. But here they are macroovelocyte. They are macrocytic as well as their shape is oval, right? Second is hypersegmented neutrophils. Can you appreciate how many neutrophilic lobes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Around 8 lobes are there, right? So even if one neutrophil you see with 6 or more than 6 lobes, or at least 5% of the neutrophils with 5 nuclear lobes, they are called as hypersegmented neutrophils. These two conditions under the peripheral blood film, and you must think about whether it is megaloblastic anemia, and you can ask for vitamin B12 and folic acid levels in the patient. Next, spherocytes. Can you appreciate these are much smaller in size, and also there is lack of central pallor. So two things: smaller as well as lack of central pallor. Two important causes: hereditary spherocytosis and autoimmune hemolytic anemia. And how can you differentiate between the two? With the help of Coombs test, because Coombs test will be positive in autoimmune hemolytic anemia, whereas negative in hereditary spherocytosis, right? So next we will see target cells. Target cells, can you see inner portion which is dark as well as the periphery region. So inner portion which is dark as well as the peripheral region which is dark, and the intervening lighter area. This gives the characteristic bullseye appearance or the target cell seen in thalassemia, hemoglobin C, sickle cell disease, obstructive jaundice and following splenectomy. So very two important causes you should not forget are thalassemia and hemoglobin C disease. Next, bite cells. Bite cells, can you see as if something is beaten off very neatly, like clear beaten off part of an RBC. These are called as bite cells. These are seen in G6PD deficiency and unstable hemoglobin disease. But you have to remember G6PD deficiency bite cells. Right? Next, schistocytes are fragmented cells. They are fragmented cells. They can be fragmented in the form of helmet shape or these triangle shape fragmented RBC seen in microangiopathic hemolytic anemia, cardiac wall processes and severe burns. Right. Acanthocytes, right? Can you see these projections? These are irregular projections of variable length, irregular projections, long projections placed at irregular intervals on the surface seen in spur cell anemia of liver disease, macluate phenotype and following splenectomy. Schistocytes, these are helmet shaped fragmented cells, and bite cells, these are clear bite cells, right? Something is bitten off the cell seen in G6PD deficiency. And why is that seen? Because the Heinz body is removed. Right, that clear removal of Heinz body gives a characteristic bite cell appearance. Right, acanthocytes, I told you, irregular large projections on the surface. Burr cells, you need to compare them, both Burr cells and acanthocytes. These Burr cells, can you see the projections are smaller and regularly placed projections on the surface seen in uremia. How will you remember that? Burr cells seen in uremia. Right, next are sickle cells. Can you see this characteristic pointed ends? Right, these are the characteristic sickle cells seen in sickle cell anemia. So we have just introduced the concept of how different types of cells look under the PBF. In our subsequent classes we will go into the detailed RBC disorders and the subsequent basics of hematology. Thank you.